Welcome to low safety rating iRacing. I'm gonna keep it honest with you, this shit is so ass. I'm gonna be completely honest. It doesn't get better than this. We just gotta look at this outside cam for this chase cam. We were so cooked in T1. Anyways, continuing back on to where we were in T2. Now, this race was really boring. I mean, the SOF for this race was like 900 or something really low like that. Granted, I'm like 1.1K, but still. The race was really boring. I stayed in P3 the whole race. P1 and P2 made a gap to me. P4 was really non-existent for most of the race, so I didn't really have a problem this whole race. Besides the like occasional back marker, and at the end of the race, you'll see here pretty soon, that did happen. But like, really, they were easy to overtake, and nothing really exciting happened this race. So we're just gonna skip past it, basically. Now, something I should probably clarify is I haven't done a formula race in a very long time. Formula cars aren't really my strong suit. I more tend to go to the more heavy cars like the GTs, mainly because I'm more of a momentum guy. I really like momentum. IRL, there's a difference there, but anyways, we had a pretty hard time this race, kind of feeling out the track. In between like the second and third race there, I did like watch a time attack style video of a guy taking lines, and you'll see my lines change a little bit in that second, third, and fourth race. The biggest problem there comes that for me, the time attack lines didn't really work. They overall seem to be heating up my tires a little bit more, and at the same time, I feel like I also am just not at that skill level yet to where I could be pushing that and being this comfortable in this car. You can tell just by some of the moves I'm making that I am not that comfortable in this car. Basically, the last race I did in this car was at Oram Park about a year ago. And basically got wrecked out into T1, and we were cooked. So I gave Formula Racing a really big break. And I'm like 2K iRated in sports cars now, which isn't terrible. I'd like to be more. But that's also only in the GT4 stuff. I got up to B class and haven't done any GT3 stuff yet, so we'll see how that goes. And for this next part, you'll see the only real incident that happened in this race wasn't really my fault. I was hard racing this guy behind me, which did, I guess, become a problem. I said P4 wasn't really a problem. It kind of was. Hard racing it for like a lap and a half, 2 laps, and then death. So let's watch it from the exterior POV here. We kind of just got cooked. You can see there, he is right on my rear wing. Heading down to, I think it's T4. It's either T3 or T4. I'm taking the inside. He's taking the outside. We're kind of chilling there. Obviously, next corner is kind of opposite, so I'm on the outside for this next corner. I feel that I give him well more than enough room. He hops the curb, and he punts right into me. Thankfully, nothing crazy happened. This is his view of the whole incident. You can see there, keeping my line on the inside. He's keeping his on the outside. And you can see he goes on the inside, hits the curb a little bit weird, tracks out, he spins, and as do I, but you know, it is what it is. I remember him being in a Lotus livery, so the 2012 one, if anybody remembers that. Good livery, but any F1 livery in Formula 4s is just going to cook you. Anyways, I only took a little bit of damage on my nose, so like there shouldn't be that much of a problem. And it turned out to be that there wasn't. It was really just locking in for everything else. At this point in the race too, like everybody was back markers that was around me, so didn't have any problems. Yeah, I mean like this guy here, this back marker, gave me a really good opportunity to show you guys what clean racing looks like during these next set of corners here. Because at this point, he was still behind me. I just passed him and we were chilling. And then now, of course, white flag lap. We're just about across the finish line. Again, nothing notable happening this race. Secured P3, podium position. P1 and 2 just kind of fucked off. So, what can you do? Now, this next race, I'm starting here in P1. Really big moves for me in quali. Did a really good lap. I think it was 20 dead, I want to say. So it was really good. In this race, there was literally nothing notable that happened. I mean, it was just easy, if I could say that. I had a podcast going in the background. I was chilling. It was literally just me in front the whole race. I think P2 and P3 fought for most of the race, but regardless, I was just kind of gone. Only at the end of the race did I see back markers, and once again, they were really easy to pass, so I didn't really have any problems. And this race, I really did like figure out trying to perfect my line with my driving style, because I'm running the KS steering wheel from Moza on the R12, right? And so that's definitely more of a Formula style rim, but I was trying really hard to get the like sports car style of driving out of me, like where you run over the curves like that on braking. In a Formula car, you'll see later, it does not end well when you do that. And especially one like this where it can get thrown off balance really easy. It just did not work. But yeah, I mean, I think for this race, I'm literally only showing like the first 2 laps or lap and a half. And then the last lap. I think that's really all I'm showing because I don't really see a point showing anything else. As you can see, I mean, I'm already a second and a half or 1.6 seconds ahead after that first lap. So, I mean, I was just gone. Really just learning the track, if you could say it like that. Not really pushing too far out of my boundaries and really keeping, like, head down and locked in. But you can see from my steering inputs, they're a lot smoother this race than they were in that first one. Mainly because for that first one, before that, I'd only put in like the 30-minute practice ahead of it. And this one, I had a little bit more practice and a little bit more confidence. As you can see, my trail braking is a little bit better in this race, especially on that hairpin there. But yeah, literally nothing significant happened. No notable voice chats or nothing. Unlike the next race. The next race did have a lot of voice chats, but for some reason the replay didn't save them. Basically a bunch of guys bitching and complaining. What else are you going to do? And as you can see, we're coming up to this final lap here. I mean, literally, like, this is one of the few back markers that I had to pass, and you can see he just went wide, and it was really easy for me to just take my line and head through. And that actually marks my first P1 in the Formula 4 car. A lot of fun. And I've later learned that in that corner, you just have to take second gear because third gear isn't fast enough. I learned that because my last race, the 4th race that I'm going to show, was in a like 1.7K iRating lobby, and yeah, it did not go as I planned. But I plan, once I get my C-Class license, to start doing the Super Formula lights. I already have a livery design for it and everything, so it should be pretty good. And speaking of, my trading paints was not working for this race for some reason, or for these races. I don't know why, but the replay wasn't like showing any of their trading paints liveries. So that sucked because I would have liked to show you guys that guy had a Lotus F1 livery, but you know. Yeah, I mean, heading on to this last lap here. Again, just taking my lines, not being super crazy, not making any dumb mistakes, and crossing the line in P1. Really, really easy race. I was head down and I was locked. See me there, head next to the pit wall. And yeah, on to the next race. And yeah, in this next race, our boy Easton Hoover in front of us was having a really rough time. Unfortunately, he was getting caught at the worst times by back markers. And that voice chat I was talking about was just him like being like, get out of the way. And then other people like being like, hey man, for blue flags, you need to pass safely. You don't expect them to get out of the way. And so that was like really funny, really entertaining. I kind of tuned the podcast out a little bit for this race, but you can see Mark in front of me. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that last name. He was kind of locked in. Beginning of the race, he was like, Mitchell, take me to a 119, and I was like, I'm gonna try, and I did not hit a 119 this race. Jesus Christ, did I not hit a 119. But yeah, there was some dude going absolutely fucking nuts on the voice chat for what's it called, for Easton Cooper. He was like, bro, for Easton Hoover, my bad. He was like, bro, you need to shut up, bro. He was like some Argentinian dude. About the blue flags. He's like, he was actually like at the end of the race. We passed him as lapped traffic, and he goes, slow fucking P1. That shit was hilarious. Oh my god, I was laughing my ass off. Tried to stay locked in as much as possible. And you can see Easton Hoover down there popping on the voice chat a little bit. And it's Kristen, that's who it was. Or Christian, however you want to say it. He was fighting back in that voice chat. It was kind of funny. But yeah, and then Andrew Goldman was actually on my ass for the whole race, basically. And I don't know how, but I kind of kept him at that like 1 second gap for the most part, up until like this last lap where he just decided to lock in. I think he closes that gap to like 0.8 of a second after this lap traffic here. So again, you can see them hopping on those comms there. I don't really say that much on voice chat besides like good race and like good luck, have fun, basically. Some of these other guys are very mic heavy on the voice chat, which I don't like, because it's like, dude, I'm trying to run my race and then you just hear yapping in my ear. You can see like this back marker traffic is just like breaking in weird spots, and like I kind of took a risk there, I won't lie. I did not know if that move was gonna stick, but I did not want Andrew Goldman to pass me. I did not want that to happen, so I just ended up going around him, and there we go, we crossed the line, finished P2. So far, yeah, all the races have been Alright, and then now we're starting in the next race. P8 wasn't a really great lap for me, and we're going to go to the TV cam for this one because there's a lot going on. I don't have enough willpower or editing time to just go into each individual driver cam here. But very hectic. The field up at the front was all together, unlike the other races I had been in, and that kind of led me to be on the more cautious side. As you can see here, I'm not really making too crazy moves. I'm not like crazy. Anyways, this guy spins, probably like netcode or contact from what I remember at least seeing. And I mean, I gained a position through that, obviously him spinning, and then me going ahead of him there, ahead of the black and green car there. Nothing too crazy, but as we go down the straight here, not really too much going on. I mean, like P3, I think that is. Chris Griffin locks up, and yeah, nothing crazy. But yeah, I mean, like, this race unfortunately got so much harder for me. You'll see here up in this next like set of clips. I was really just trying to run my race, and that did not happen. See, I think we cut another couple of minutes here. Yeah, like 3 minutes-ish more into the race. And we're heading again down to T4. That seems to be where all of the incidents happen. I run myself wide. My tires at this point are fucking flaming. They are so hot. And the guy behind me there in that black and green car again is going to be stuck to my wing here in a second. Now, I don't know if that was the difference between like his, what's it called? Like his driving style in comparison to mine and like his braking point and everything. But during this like sector specifically, he caught up to me so hard. And in this one again, I go wide for the second lap in a row. And this lap, it looks like I guess he didn't judge me being there. And he just spins because I didn't even get a 0x for it. I had nothing come up on my screen. I didn't even know that anything happened until he came on the mic and goes, "Man, going wide there's a bad idea," or whatever he ends up saying. This was my view of it, so you can see I literally like no like visual hit there. I think he did just spin on his own, low-key. Not saying it's a lack of talent, but maybe just a lack of judgment there. The rest of this race is pretty like boring. I kind of serve myself for what happened back there to him. Unfortunately, this part of the race is pretty boring, but I mean, the rest of it really isn't. That's the unfortunate part. As much as I like exciting races, boring races are so much easier on my head to like manage. And you can see there as well, I mean, my wheel's shaking quite a lot, and that's from the flat spots I give myself when I'm braking, specifically at the hairpin there. Yeah, and heading down again to T4. P3 and P4 are battling it out, but they are just way higher paced than me. As you can see, I'm a lowly 1.2K iRating, and they're all like 2 or 3K iRating at the top of the field. So they were just kind of taking a walk in the park in comparison to what I was fighting for. And you can see, just because of how hot my tires are, my line through there is terrible. That's the unfortunate part about like this car, is I feel like once the tires heat up, they're not really cooling down anytime soon, at least not at race pace. Other cars, you can kind of manage it while still holding race pace, but with this car specifically, I mean, yeah, you can see me locking up there. It's not that manageable. And you can see behind me as well, Max Lamb and Chris Griffin are both on my tail, and I spin. And then it looks like Chris Griffin hits me. And unfortunately, I get the meatball flag for this one, so I did have to pull into the pits. Very, very unfortunate. I didn't feel like the car was that unstable, but I guess the game said I had too much damage, because it only ended up being like literally a 2 or 3 second repair. And then, yeah, this is just the pit lane speed here is just so low. Yeah, making our way back out on track in P19. Of course, passing P20 there in our pit lane exit. But like nothing really notable happened. At this point, I'm on like cold tires, and so I didn't really want to push the car too hard, but I kind of forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie, and you can see here the car's kind of moving, and I'm just like, I can control it, but it's hard. Like I think without a direct drive wheel, this sounds like such a LOT, but like without a direct drive wheel, I don't think I would have caught that, because with all the other wheels I've been using before, I had a G27 and a T300, and both of those, because of them being belt driven, weren't as high torque output, and so I couldn't feel what was happening. There's definitely a difference in this wheel though. You can definitely feel what's happening, at least on the road. And again, these back markers, being so weird. Like, obviously, I'm, in this case, a back marker, but if I was still in my original place, this guy would have been a back marker. Also, something I do just want to know, because I saw his car number. I was car number 23. And as we know in iRacing, that does go off of your, I believe it is your iRating in the session of what car number they give you. And yeah, I was 23 and I was in a P5. So like, I would have held up pretty well. I'd like to think if I didn't have that lack of talent on that curb. Yeah, getting the clean overtake in there. I'm just really trying to make the most of what I can in this race because it's not gonna happen. But unfortunately, I don't think there's anything that I can do for the rest of the race really. This next part is also very unfortunate. Yeah, guy in the red there just spins in the middle of the track and thought it was a good idea to just kind of turn around. We'll see it up here. What actually caused it. It gets a little bit squirrely on the rumble strips there and then just kind of spins around. And then after this, he thinks it's a good idea to just turn out in the middle of the track. But besides that, I mean, this is the last lap here. So, like, literally very uneventful besides those two incidents that happened to me, unfortunately. I hope that any future races I do in the Formula cars aren't just like this every time. Because that would be an L for my safety rating and an L for my iRating. But I think the weekend's today, so honestly, like, this wasn't a bad track. Of all the tracks for there to be for a Formula 4 car, this track was actually a lot of fun. Just kind of a shame about the happenstances in this race. And yeah, you can still see like the remnants of my hot tires here. Because I mean, I was just tracking so far wide and like there, locking up. And then obviously trying to avoid this curb up here after what happened. I know you can eat that inside curb in this car, but on the outside curb there, you cannot brake on it. It's like ice, basically, from exactly what we saw earlier. Yeah, again, a disappointing result for this one, P16, unfortunately. Couldn't catch Chris Griffin. Chris Griffin was too fast for me. Races for, this is week 9 right now. And honestly, I don't think I did that bad for only just restarting my like Formula journey. I feel like I didn't do terrible at all. I am going to be partaking next week in the Zandvoort stuff because I love Zandvoort as a track. Unfortunately, I don't have it yet, but I will be getting it. And as well, another really big thing, right, is iRacing VR. For me, I don't know why, just VR is so much more, like, it clicks a lot harder for me in VR. As far as like entry speed and like braking points, and also just being able to like look at the apex when I want to. Just to give you guys some context, because the way I race, just from watching the replays, doesn't really look like I would be able to see or like know who's there exactly. But playing in VR has helped me so much, with just like knowing who is where on the track and everything like that. So yeah, so far I'm really actually enjoying the Formula stuff. I wouldn't say more than the sports car stuff yet, but that's because I like sports cars more as a racing series. Just in comparison, I love IMSA, I love WEC, but we'll see how these Formula cars go. Guys, that was M-Batch Racing. I'll catch y'all later.